Hello everyone, welcome back. Please comment, rate, subscribe, folks. Comment, rate, subscribe, like the videos. Also share the videos. I want to thank everyone that does like, watch, and share my videos. You folks are the absolute best. Listen, folks, there's a link tree down below. Has the links to all of my social media platforms. Please go down there. Follow me across all my social media platforms and talk to me because I talk back. Also down there as well as links to all of my YouTube pages. Please go down there, subscribe to all my YouTube pages, and turn on your notifications so when I post content, you folks will be in the know. Now, with that said and done and put to the side, I've come to talk to you folks today about Quinnen Williams. All right, listen, the Jets, have had a closeout day today. They're talking to the media. Guys are going around and speaking their piece about the season and starting to clear out those lockers again. We know our season sadly is over at this point, but we're sitting down and they're talking to the media, closing things out. And there's been some interesting tidbits to be able to speak about. All right. And so today I want to come to you folks and talk to you about Quinnen Williams. He spoke to the media today and talked about how he wants a new contract from the New York Jets. All right. So Quinnen Williams stood up on a podium today, speaking with the media, going back and forth, taking questions. And Q says that he wants a new contract and he wants it before April. All right. He wants it before the voluntary off-season program starts. All right. And he also said that if he did not get it before the voluntary off-season program starts, that he would skip the voluntary stuff. Okay. Now, I heard that. I was like, okay, he's serious. I get it. I'm hoping that we get this done because then when the mandatory stuff comes, I'm hoping, if a deal's not done at that time, I'm hoping that he doesn't skip that stuff because then that'll really spiral. But at this point, again, he's just saying, hey, I'm going to skip the voluntary stuff if the deal's not done by then. When he was asked by a reporter that was there, hey, do you want to be the highest paid defensive lineman in the league? He kind of shied away from saying, yes, I want to be the highest paid guy. He didn't say that. All he said was that he wanted to be fairly compensated for the production and impact that he puts out there in the field. He wants to be fairly compensated for what he brings to the table for the New York Jets. And that was very smart. That was very smart by Quinnen Williams. I like how Quinnen Williams handled that question and situation, all right? Because, he could have said something else that could have made him look greedy and all these things. No, he just wants to be fairly compensated, okay? He also brought up during the press conference how the New York Jets have a history of not giving their first-round picks second contracts. Those guys seem to just float away, and we can name those guys. Jamal Adams, Sam Darnold, the list goes on of guys that have been drafted in the first round here by the New York Jets, but they just don't stick around. We don't get a second contract. We move on from them or we trade them or whatever, right? Now, I think he said the last 7 years the New York Jets have not been able to sign their first rounders. I think it's like at this point almost 8 first rounders, that we haven't been able to bring back. So that was very smart. He also talked about how he wants to be a Jet. He wants to stay here, and he wants to continue to be a part of the culture change here for the New York Jets. Now, Joe Douglas also sat down with the media as well today. And when asked about the Quinnen Williams situation and him wanting a new contract and where he stood with it, Joe Douglas responded that he'll sit down with the team, the admin team that they have over there that work out contracts there with the Jets. He'll sit down with that team. They'll come up with a plan, and then they'll do what's best for the football team. Now, there were some people that did not like that answer from Joe Douglas about this situation with Quinnen Williams wanting a new contract. I liked it. It was very professional, very short, very to the point, and he's letting it be known, hey, I'm going to do what's right by the squad, but, we're going to do what we can for Quinnen. Now, let's be very clear here. All right, doing what's right for the team could mean a couple things, but I personally believe that it means he's going to try his darndest to make sure that Quinnen Williams stays a Jet. All right, he also talked about the impact that Quinnen Williams has, that, hey, everybody's seen what he does this season. He's phenomenal, okay? I think that Joe Douglas is going to sit down and try his hardest to keep Quinnen Williams a Jet, but he's not going to just blow out the bank, okay? Now, keep in mind, there's some defensive linemen, some interior defensive linemen in this league that are getting paid. Aaron Donald right now is making $31 million per season. Do I think that Quinnen Williams is going to get that? No, that's kind of an anomaly of a contract there where Aaron Donald with his squad. That's not happening here. But Leonard Williams is getting $21 million a year. You got Buckner as well getting $21 million a year. I think Quinnen Williams is going to fall somewhere between the $23 and $25 million a year range for the New York Jets. And I think that's fair compensation. For what Quinnen Williams has done with the Jets this year has been unbelievable, okay? Keep in mind, he led the New York Jets in sacks this year with 12 sacks. Phenomenal. The impact we saw on the field, him stuffing the run, all that stuff, right? He also was second this year with interior defensive linemen in sacks as well. He was second in the league this year amongst the interior defensive linemen with the sacks. There was points in this year where he was first. So when you look at the impact, it's all there. The numbers are there. Then you also look at, if you want to see what the New York Jets defensive line looks like without Quinnen Williams, go back and watch that Lions game. Go back and watch it because he wasn't playing in that game. He had a calf injury. He missed that game. We couldn't get any pressure on Goff. Okay, that was the game where Goff was literally sitting back, making a lunch, eating it, having conversations, going back and forth. He kicked back, watched the movie, went to the sidelines, had discussions with some of his friends, dapped him up, put his helmet back on, came back onto the field, and had more than enough time to dial up and find guys down the field to keep drives going because there wasn't much of a rush on him. There wasn't that kind of impact where that guy that was wreaking havoc up the middle that really impacted the other guys as well on our defensive line and made it tough. No, he had all day. So you see the impact on the field when Quinnen Williams is not there. You got to keep this guy a Jet, and I think that Joe Douglas is going to do that. Of course, Joe Douglas is going to play the game. He's not going to seem thirsty. He's always going to, work his mojo, work his thing. He's going to say, hey, I'm going to do what's right by the team. But Joe Douglas is going to try his best, and he's going to make sure that he goes to the wall to keep Quinnen Williams without giving up way too much. Joe Douglas has a history of doing that. He's a very smart general manager. But I tell you what, when we talk about keeping Quinnen Williams on this football team, the impact on the field is easy to talk about, right? We see that. The numbers, the sacks, him blowing up running plays, smacking guys. We see that constantly. But what we don't see is the stuff that reverberates back into the locker room. Quinnen Williams, keeping Quinnen Williams here, paying a guy like him that has high character, that works his tail off to get where he's gotten, speaks to that locker room. It tells all the young guys that are coming up here with the New York Jets, hey, if you show up day in and day out, right? We draft you, you come in here, you play hard, you do what we tell you to do, you keep your nose clean, don't get in any crazy trouble. You just go out there and do your job and do it effectively. We will keep you a New York Jet. We'll do what it takes to make sure that you stay here in that green and white uniform. And that speaks to those young guys. They can come in here confidently every single day knowing, you know what? If I come in here and play to the wall and be a Jet, play like a Jet, like they always say, play like a Jet, play fast, do what we got to do, right? No, all gas, no brakes, right? If I come in here and do that, they're going to take care of me, dog. They're going to take care of me. That means players are going to want to come in here and play for us as well. Not just here in our locker room currently, but guys from other places as well. They're going to look at the New York Jets and be like, whoa, this is a different type of organization. That culture there has really changed. Guys that come there and play well, they keep. They do what it takes. They're going to fairly compensate me and not lowball me or try to screw me over or anything like that. No, if I come there and I do what they tell me to do and I work hard and I produce and I go out there and give it my all, they're going to make sure that I'm taken care of. So that reverberates to nothing but goodness here for the Jets. It reverberates into the locker room and shows guys, hey, look, take care of business and we'll take care of you. And that's huge for the New York Jets, especially when you look at our past where we've come from just being a circus of an organization, and that entire narrative has been changed. So this is big. I'm hoping that, again, Quinnen Williams and Joe Douglas sit down. Of course, Quinnen Williams' agent, is going to sit down with Joe Douglas and his team. And I cannot wait for them to get this deal done. Quinnen Williams should be a Jet for the rest of his career. That's just my opinion. So comment down below. Let me know what you folks think. How do you folks feel about this situation with Quinnen Williams? What are your thoughts about him, wanting a new contract here? What is the most you would pay Quinnen Williams per season? I want to know. And what are your thoughts about Joe Douglas's answer when the media spoke to him about the situation with Quinnen Williams' contract? So comment down below. Let's go back and forth. I love talking to you folks. You folks have a good one. Peace.